Hey guys, I'm back with another process video today using my kit for this month. So the last time I shared a video, I made the one page about the EU elections, and today I'm going to go ahead and make the second page. This is obviously, as you can see, it is a pocket life page. So this one is mostly going to be focused on the elections in my country, in Cyprus. So, we are a very, very small country. We're one of the countries that have the minimum number of parliament members. So we get 6 members. I think Malta gets 6 members as well, and a couple of other ones, but I don't remember at the moment. So I mean, it's easy to scrapbook all the parliament members that are elected, as opposed to, for example, someone who's from Germany that they get like over 70 seats. I mean, it's feasible for me to scrapbook all of them, and like we know everybody basically. So what I did was I just picked out a bunch of cards. I'm not entirely sure at this point how I want to place the photos, so I'm thinking I want to do it by parties. So there's the 2 main parties here, the center right and the center left, that each got 2. They each got 2 seats, and then there's 2 other parties that got 1 seat each. So I decided to do it by parties. So you got the 2 there on the red card, and then the 2 down on the blue. And I wanted to make sure that I had orange and blue in each row. So the red is a pretty dominant color, and also it is close to the orange. So I don't mind if I don't have red everywhere, but I did want to make sure I had orange in all 3, orange and blue, and in various different areas. So I made sure to pick out, so I have some orange in that card at the bottom, so I also have an orange card in the middle row. And then that one, the checklist card there, I picked that because I thought there's 6 checkboxes, there's 6 candidates, I can just write all their names there and it would be great. So I made sure I included a bit more of that blue that's at the top. And also there's a shade of blue in that postcard on the top there that I got from the so I was at the European Parliament in Strasbourg for a program school. I was representing Cyprus. It's called the MEP for anybody that knows it. So I just kind of had these postcards, so I just got a few. So I'm using that one up there, and it's in French, but it's okay. And so I do want to make sure bringing there is some of those blues in the clothes the candidates are wearing. So like in the guy at the bottom, on the bottom card that has just 2, that has this very royal blue tie. So that kind of pulls in the blue from that card. So I'm good with that. And there's also some a little blue in the parliament configuration there. So what I'm trying to decide now is how I want to glue down these photos. If I want to add like something behind them, what kind of embellishing I want to add. And also I only have gray up at the top, so up the top it's a very neutral row, and at the bottom there's a lot of color. So I'm bringing in some gray at the bottom. This is just a scrap piece of paper from the Amy Tangerine +1 collection. So that's why I'm bringing in the gray at the bottom. It also just kind of fills up that card a bit, because it's going to look a bit empty to begin with. And I knew I wanted that card at the top, the 4x6 one with the gray and the grid, is because I knew I wanted to do a lot of journaling on this. So I wanted to make sure I had a lot of journaling at the top, and I have a lot of journaling at the bottom next to that parliament picture. And then I'm also going to end up journaling on the blue 4x6 card as well. So anyway, so off camera, because I had the names on my phone, which I used to film, I just printed out the names of all the candidates. It's in Greek, and then I also wrote the Greek word for the European Parliament members. We have it's one word, so it's I wrote that at the top there of that card. And then I decided that I want to do a sort of cluster up at the top to bring in some color on that gray card. So I'm kind of thinking I can have this orange label and like a heart on top, but the heart it had a pink in it, and I didn't want to bring any pink. So then I decided I'm just going to add some washi tape and just maybe that label at the top for the time being. I'm just going to let it there and think it over in my mind while I work on some other things. So now I'm going through this paper pad because I'm trying to decide if I want to mat these photos. I don't know what I want to do with them at this point. So I just go through it briefly, and then I'm going to decide that I do want to just leave them plain. And I also wanted to write the names of the party, of each party, on the cards. So I was also going through my letter stickers that I included in this kit, and seeing if I wanted to use those or if I wanted to pull something else from my stash. So I decided I'm going to glue that picture just right onto the card, but I needed a little bit something more, so I took this label sticker from Tangerine, from Ellie Studio. I'm just going to glue it down there, and that brings in some of the blue that's in the card up there with the woman with the flag on her face. So yes, now I'm just going to glue down the picture off camera because I wanted to get it straight. So there it is, glued down. And now I'm going to glue down these two pictures, just one on top of the other, because I wanted some space to add the party name. I'm just using double-sided tape to glue everything down, as I always do. It's just some very cheap, I think it's like 90 cents when I buy it from like a craft store. Not a craft store, it's like a stationery store. Here. So then I also wanted to add some sort of label at the bottom of this orange card to kind of mimic the other one, and also to add a little something. So I'm going to pull out the Citrus Twist stickers. I don't know what happened there. It's kind of falling apart. I don't know how old these were because they were I got them in a grab bag, but I mean the actual sticker works fine. It was just kind of the sticker sheet was just becoming a bit discombobulated. But anyway, okay, so now I'm kind of debating if I want to add that gray sticker there, so that also brings some more gray up from the top. I am going to end up sticking it down, just not yet. And then I'm going to glue down these two pictures, the one on top of each other, just to mimic that other one that has two pictures. I don't know, I just felt like I needed to have some sort of cohesiveness. Just going to glue those down as well. There we go. And what else? So at this point, I'm not really happy with what's happening at the top of the card there, at the gray card, so I'm still kind of thinking over what I want to do. And then I just decided to write the new European Parliament on the bottom card, just sort of as a title for the time being. I'm not going to do any major journaling on camera yet. I am going to come back at the end to show you how it looks with all the journaling done, though. So I'm just making sure that this photo is glued down properly. And then I decide I'm going to outline these pictures just to make it a little messy because it's all very clean at this point. And I just wanted to add a little bit of an interest. I mean, some get a bit too messy, like this one here. It's a bit too much. But it doesn't matter. I'm using a Staedtler, by the way, it's for the outlining. It's a Staedtler pigment. Let me just, it's the standard pens I always use. it's a Staedtler pigment liner. And I was using both the 0.3 tip and the 0.1 and the 0.05 tip as well. I think I did my journaling in the 0.05 tip pen. And then here I decided I'm going to pull out these standard Tim Holtz mini stickers because I haven't used them yet in a long time. And because I have a lot of them, so that's why I chose these as opposed to the Ellie Studio ones. Also because I needed to make Greek letters. I wanted to, these letters have more of a distressed look on white, so if I come in with a gel pen and fill in some letters, it doesn't look so bad. So for example, I wanted to, so some Greek letters are the same in capitals as in English, so that worked well. The only one I had a problem with was the delta. I think that's how you pronounce it in English. So basically I just inverted a V sticker and just drew a line at the bottom. So that solved that problem. And then the lambda in Greek is different from the one in English. So again, I just stuck a V sticker the other side around, so it looks perfectly fine. And then I'm just using a Pilot white gel pen to fill in just to add line when I need it. So yes, these words might not make no sense to you. You might pronounce them. I mean, like for example, where there is an H, it's actually ita, which is an E sound. So I mean, it might seem weird to some people, but I thought it was important. I don't usually write Greek on my layouts, but I thought it was important in this particular context that I make sure to have some Greek things on here as well. So then I decided for that cluster at the top, I'm just going to add one of these hearts. So I kind of tested which blue matched best with the blue that I have going on in those two cards, and I just decided on this one heart, and I think that looks good. So I think this is about it. I am going to consider adding some of these words, but end up not adding them. See, I don't know what's happening to that sticker sheet. Oh yeah, I still have to write this last party. So this one was a bit of an issue because I needed a sigma in a capital form, which is it's kind of intricate. So basically it's an inverted W, but yeah, so I just kind of flipped over the W on its side, and that means it's not that all the letters are not uniform. But that's okay with me. I know it might drive some people nuts. I do think it kind of looks like a ransom note from like random paper, the random letters cut out of magazines and such. But I'm okay with it. It's fine. It works. So I'm just going with it because it's the best it's gonna get. Okay, so I finally sat down and did all the journaling for both of these EU pages. Now, okay, so on this one, it doesn't really look all that good because of the white and the orange and the whatever. Ideally, the journaling would just been in that little white space, but it is not, or like around the white space, but I just went for it, so there's that. And then the back really looks much more finished with all the journaling on it. So I did end up writing a couple of random things because I wanted to fill out all of these spaces. So here I wrote a bit about the configuration of the European Parliament after the most recent elections, and then here I kind of went a bit into what happened in Cyprus. And then up here I also talked about the elections that happened in Cyprus, but in a different capacity, more of the campaigning that occurred before the voting, and a bit about the voter turnout, and about some like historical and first time things that happened during these elections. So there's that. And then on this side I mostly wrote about the This Time I'm Voting campaign and the very low turnout here in Cyprus as opposed to the significantly high turnout throughout the whole of Europe. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this process, and I will see you next time.